All right. I wanted to draw a quick parallel between emotions and the act of self abandonment. So, here's what I'm feeling into. Emotions are meant to be felt. Point blank, period, end of story. They're here to be felt by the body. The mind literally cannot feel a feeling. It can intellectualize, it can create stories, and it can actually kick up more other emotions, but it can't actually feel or process an emotion. Only the body can do that. Why? Because emotions are in the body, of the body. Thoughts and beliefs, those are up here. Emotions are down here. And so when we try to intellectualize and use our mind to solve and fix and do all the feelings, we're actually skipping and actually disassociating and actually self-abandoning in that moment. Not self-abandoning is to feel your feelings. I'm just going to repeat that. To not self-abandon means to feel your feelings. I did an inner child healing breathwork yesterday, and I felt this in experience. Like, I experienced this for the first time really clearly. The breathwork leader, which is through an app, and I can link it below, gave this really beautiful mantra of, I will not leave you here on the floor. And it helped me realize all the ways in which I do subtly leave myself there on the floor, or have in the past, or did as a child, or felt that way as a child, whether or not anybody was leaving anybody, or whatever was happening in my physical reality. I think I have felt deeply abandoned for some reason. And here comes the intellectualizing part of my brain, because it wants to go, for what reason? Savannah? Like, you had these great parents and you had this great upbringing and you were safe and you had all these things. There's no reason to feel that way. But my inner child does not need me to pathologize her. My inner child does not need me to explain why she is the way that she is, why she's so sad and sensitive, why she likes to watch sad movies for hours at a time and cry, why Evita is her favorite movie, why I was drawn to sad music, all the things. And it can be really easy for me to want to understand and call my mom and be like, what the heck? Like, did I just come out of the womb crying? Like, what was my deal? What was my damage? But I was created this way, for sure. What this breathwork reminded me was that I've always been this way. And so while I was doing this breathwork, I was reminded of this really cheesy, sad country music song that I used to like. It's extremely morbid, and I feel weird even sharing that this was a song that I liked. But it was basically about this little girl whose parent is like it's like a Christian song. It's like very much preaching also, by the way. Trigger warning. I am going to describe a little bit about this song. It's very morbid and does include some suicide and homicide details, or not details, but content. So if you want to skip ahead, I'll put the time code below to where to skip to. So in the song, it's this little girl, and she hides behind her couch while her dad kills her mom and then kills himself. And then she's taken away to a better family and a better life, and she's taken to church, and she sees Jesus and says, I do know him. He was there with me behind the couch the night my parents died. And I had totally forgotten about this song, like completely forgotten. And what a song. Like, first of all, like, super random and dark and morbid, but I was always drawn to that, always. Like, but I think I was also drawn to the light and, like, that spiritual connection and presence that the song is talking about. And it reminded me that I was a little Catholic girl, by the way. A little Catholic kid. Went to Catholic kindergarten in first grade before we moved somewhere else, and loved my little uniform. And honestly, I think I loved, like, the structure and beauty and magnificence of the Catholic Church. I was really drawn to that. And I think I was, like, deeply captivated and entranced with, like, the idea of Jesus. Like, I think that and I don't know if it came from the church or where it came from, but I think I had an understanding that to know Jesus was to not self-abandon, or, like, to know Jesus was to be seen, to be known, to be found. And so I guess what I started to connect in my head yesterday is that that's why self-abandonment, or self-knowing, I guess, rather, is so powerful to me, is because that is my spirituality. That is how I come home to myself in a deep way. And that is knowing God for me. And if that word is triggering, like, please replace it with the universe or anything else that works for you. And I so did not expect to be making these videos on my YouTube right now. It's very random. I'm in a very spiritual, heady place right now. And that might change, and it might not. I'm not really sure. My spirituality definitely kind of goes like this, I think. Like, I get really into it, and then I kind of, like, have to take a break. But I figure while I'm here, I'd share what I've been learning. And so, anyways, sitting with myself in that discomfort, through the breath work, through the pain, through the sadness, through the crying, through all of what came up, and saying, I will not leave you here on the floor, was extremely powerful. And so I guess what I wanted to offer today is that the opposite of self-abandonment is knowing yourself and being known by yourself and having your own back. And so that's something I'm deeply getting into and fascinated by, and want to help other people learn how to do, is how do you have your own back in this fucking world, you know? Because once you have that, you literally have it all. You literally have it all. And I feel like that's what we're deeply here to do. People say, like, consciousness created us or came here to be known. I think that's what that means. And so I want to share a fun little exercise I came up with as well to get into the body, because it's hard for me to get into the body. I tend to be very heady and in my mind a lot, and I'm learning how to drop deeper into the body. And so, and a fun little exercise I came up with today is, imagine that an alien just asked you, what is it like to be in a human body? And you say, hold on, let me check. And then you close your eyes and you feel. And try to create a pause between, like, and the question and the answer. Like, realize that the answer isn't something you need to tell the alien. Like, the answer is just something you need to listen for and experience for yourself. So that is my epiphany around self-abandonment, inner child work, and God, I guess. I hope that you found meaning and value in this, and if this is something you're wanting more of in your life, please feel free to reach out to me, drop a comment, or find me on social media to connect, because I'm definitely wanting to connect with more like-minded folks. And yeah, I think that's it. Thanks for watching.